Hello, pointers. Pointers are a very important concept in C. It gives a lot of power to programming in C. But when you use pointers, you need to be careful because it can lead to a lot of errors. You can write very complicated programs which no one can understand. So, writing a program with pointers is a task which has to be done carefully. A lot of traps and when you write programs using pointers, so you have to be careful. I have declared a variable here, int x, an integer x, and I have assigned it to 10. Now, what happens when I write a program which has this code? You have the C program, it's compiled, the compiler compiles this program and converts into a machine readable output file, and then you run that output file. Dot slash and then output file name, a dot out or whatever the output file name you are using. Right. Now when you run that program, what does the machine do? The machine will allocate memory for this variable. Right? And we know how much memory does an integer variable take. It depends on the machine, it can be either 2 bytes or 4 bytes. But depending on the machine is going to allocate either 2 byte or 4 byte for storing this value x. Okay, so I can draw it like this. Let's say this is my memory location which is given to x. Now we have seen that every memory location has an address. Let me call this address to be, let's say 100. So 100 is the address. So address is the memory for this variable. Coming to pointers. So pointer is an object which can store an address location. So here the address is 100. So a pointer, we can create a pointer which basically stores this value 100. So so let me just note down a pointer. So pointer is an object which stores a memory address. Right. How do I create a pointer? How do I declare a pointer in C? That's the next thing. And if I want to declare, so let me write. So here I have declared a pointer ptr. This is a pointer which points to an integer variable. What do I mean by that? It means that if this is my memory where here is my variable x in location 100. There is another location when I have created ptr. ptr is now in another location. ptr is now given another space in the memory, right? So that's here. But this x is an integer variable. On the other hand, ptr is a pointer variable. Okay, this should, inside this there should be an integer here, and inside this should be a pointer. Variable ptr can take an address location. Now this is one way to declare a pointer variable. There is another way to declare, slightly different. So that is not that the only difference is that where the space is. Here the space is here, and the space is here. Both are, you can declare a pointer in either of these two ways. Okay. So this is, in both ways you are declaring a pointer to an integer variable. Okay. Now, there are two important operations for a pointer. First of all, I haven't mentioned to you how to assign this pointer variable ptr an address location. I haven't told that. We are coming to that. So there are two important operations for pointers. First one is the ampersand operator. What is it used for? So the use of ampersand is to get an address location of a variable. So let me first write its syntax. So I have declared ptr to be a pointer to an integer, and here I have written ptr is equal to ampersand x. So what happens here? So when I write ampersand x, it takes the memory address of ampersand x is basically gives you the memory address, the address of x. What is the address of x in our figure? 100. So when I write ptr is equal to ampersand x, we're basically putting ptr is equal to 100. So 100 should come inside this. Okay. And is that clear? Right. So I have got ptr is equal to ampersand x, and so basically I have ptr is now equal to 100. Right? This, because this 100 is the memory location for x. So this is one way. So using ampersand you can get the address of a variable. Now once you have an address of a variable, that's not enough. So the next important operator in using pointer is basically, given an address, can I see what is the value in that address? What is the value inside this address 100? We know int x is equal to 10, so the value inside this is 10. Right? Now given this address 100, can I see what is the value at that location? For that you can use the following operator. I have written int y is equal to star ptr. So basically star ptr is that operation. So when I write star ptr, so ptr now contains the value 100. So star ptr, when I write star ptr, what happens is that it goes to the location 100 because ptr is 100, right? So it goes to the location 100 and star ptr gives me the value at that location. So this value becomes y is equal to star ptr, right? Okay. So y becomes equal to 10. So after this y becomes equal to 10. Right. So these are the two important operations. So to summarize, the two operations are, first is using the ampersand, you can get the address of a variable, and second is using the star operator, you can get the value from an address. Okay. This is called as dereferencing. What we have seen here is how to declare a pointer to an integer variable. So since we declared it to be a pointer to an integer variable, that's precisely one reason. That's the reason why I could assign ptr is equal to ampersand of x. Because ampersand of x gives me the address of an integer variable, and since ptr is a pointer to an, so ptr can only store an address of an integer. So that's why I could do this. But what if I wanted a character, a pointer to a character? It's easy. It's easy to see. We use the same notation you could have written. This is a pointer to a character. If you wanted float, this is a pointer to a float variable. Okay, if you wanted double star. There's one important pointer which there's one more type of pointer called as void star PTR. So void star is a generic pointer. So meaning its type, what type, whether it's integer or float or character, that's not yet defined. Okay, we don't know as of now which. So that it's not defined on which type of pointer it is. So that's a void star pointer. Its use we will soon see its use of void star pointer. So let's have it like this right now. Okay. Now there's another one important pointer called as null pointer, which is used, which basically says the pointer value is null. Okay, it's right now it's not pointing to any memory location. So I can initialize a pointer to the null. So I can set, I can write PTR is equal to null. If I write PTR is equal to null, I'm basically making it null. So that pointer right now is not pointing to any memory location. Okay. Okay. So I can also do the following. I can write if PTR is equal to null, do something. Or if PTR is not equal to null, do something. I can do all these things with using the null pointer. So to summarize, let's go through it once more. Int x, when I write int x equal to 10, I have in some memory location I have put x, I have put the number 10, right, at a location which is assigned to x, variable x, and that memory location we are going to assume it to be 100 for our analysis. And then we come down, I define a pointer to an integer variable by saying int star PTR, and then I assign PTR is equal to the address of x. So 100 comes here. So in some sense, what is happening is that this pointer is pointing to that address location. Right? I could have declared and initialized the pointer at, using one command. Right now I am using two commands. I could have declared and I could have declared and initialized the pointer to the address of x in one line. Okay. This is a short form. Okay, so this is and now we will see an example. Okay, let's look at the example. I'm going to write a few commands and we'll see what is happening. Right, I have now declared two variables, two integer variables x and y assigned to 10 and 20. What happens when you run such a thing? It's going to be in the memory. You are going to see two locations where 10 and 20 are there. Right, so x and y are two locations, which is 10 and 20, and the addresses are given are 100 and 200. Okay. Now, I'm going to declare a pointer What happens when I do this? There's going to be another memory location where this address of X is going to be stored. Okay. So PTR now points to X. Right. Okay. So how can I print the value of X? Now I can print the value of X in two ways. One is I could have written this is something we know, right? This will print the value of X. But I can also use the pointer. I could have written percentage D star PTR. Now we know once again what a star PTR means. PTR is at location 100, star PTR means go to location 100, what is the value there? That's 10. So this will print 10. So this will print 10. Okay, so now let's do something else. I'm going to set star PTR is equal to 30. I have assigned star PTR to be 30. What will happen? So star PTR now points to X, and star PTR is 10. When you have star PTR is equal to 30, basically star PTR becomes 30. That can only happen if this is 30. So basically, when you have this, you go to the location which is pointed to by the pointer. So 100 points to this location. So go to 100 location memory and change its value to 30. Okay. So now if I print again, so if I print X, what happens? What will get printed if I print X? X is now 30. Right? We can see here X is now 30. So it prints 30. Okay. Next thing I can do is the following. PTR is equal to ampersand Y. What happens now? When I write PTR is equal to ampersand Y, the value of PTR now changes and it becomes equal to the address of Y. So that means this becomes PTR becomes 200, or in other words, this PTR is now not pointing to X but to Y. Right. So now if I do the following, what will happen? If I write star PTR is equal to 50, what will happen? Right now PTR is pointing to Y. When I write star PTR is equal to 50, this becomes 50. Okay, now Y becomes 50. So if I now print Y, you will see 50. Okay, is it clear?